So, Pavlychenkova and Rybakina, they're facing off in the quarterfinals of the French Open. Now, Pavlychenkova has played really well this year. She hasn't actually made the quarterfinals in this tournament since 2011. So she rolled back the years to make the quarterfinal, and she's had some great victories. Her first opponent was against Mikhail, and she beat her in relatively routine fashion, 6-4, 6-0. In that match, she served 6 aces and also converted 5 of the 6 break points. So she took as many chances as she got. She didn't waste her chances. When she got a chance, she took it. So that was really important, and that really helped her a lot. Well, it helped her more to win the match. In the second round against Tomjanovic, she beat her 6-2, 6-3. So fairly comfortable win for her again. Against Sabalenka, she managed to pull off a big upset over the third seed. She beat her in 3 sets, 6-4, 2-6, 6-0. She handed Sabalenka a bagel in the third set, so pretty impressive. And then against Azarenka in the fourth round, she managed to beat her, coming back from a set down. She beat her 5-7, 6-3, 6-2. So she's played pretty well, and now she gets to play Rybakina, who has also been in impressive form. So Rybakina has also been in impressive form. Her first round opponent, she beat her easily 6-4, 6-1. And just to say that she wasn't in great form coming into this tournament. She had lost pretty early in a lot of the tournaments, but she was also partly unlucky that she had to play good players in the early rounds. But anyways, her first round opponent, as I said, she beat her 6-4, 6-1. In that match, she won 81% of first serve points, so pretty impressive. In her second round against Hebino, a Japanese opponent, she beat her in straight sets 6-3, 6-1. In that match, she served 4 aces, 0 double faults, and won 89% of first serve points. So pretty impressive from Rybakina. In her third round against Vesnina, the one that was returning from injury, she managed to beat her in straight sets 6-1, 6-4. In that match, she served 11 aces, and she won 83% of first serve points. And then she played Serena Williams, one of the best players, who was one of the candidates for the title. She managed to beat her 6-3, 7-5. In that match, she converted 5 of the 7 break points. So whenever she got the opportunities, she took them. And now she gets to play Pavlychenkova, which will make for a great encounter. Now, these two players, they've never met, so they have a 0-0 head-to-head. So my prediction, I think that Rybakina will win. I think that while Pavlychenkova is playing well, Rybakina has been great, and she hasn't dropped a set. And she just had a massive victory over Serena Williams in the fourth round. So I'm going to pick Rybakina to win it. I think it's going to be 3 sets, because both players are playing really well. But I think that she can win this and get her way into her first Grand Slam semifinal. So Rybakina in 3 sets is my prediction. So Zidansek and Badoza, they're facing off in the quarterfinals of Roland Garros. Now, both of these players have played really well to get here, and we're going to be going through their match. So let's start with Zidansek first. She was drawn in the 7th quarter, so that was basically the place that, like, just above the 8th quarter, so just above the last place where the number 2 seed is. She was drawn in the quarter above it, and it's not been easy by any means. She's had pretty tough opponents in all the rounds. But for her results this year, she had some good results. She reached the final in Bogota. She made the final, and she lost to the Colombian Osorio. She lost to her in 3 sets. But she's played really well to get to the quarterfinals. Her first match was against Andreescu, the Canadian, and it was a tight match, and it could have swung either way. She managed to come back because Andreescu was serving for the set at 5-4, but she managed to come back and she won it 6-7, 7-6, 9-7, because the way the Roland Garros format is, the design's high, but you just keep on going until someone wins by 2 games. So she won 9-7 in the 3rd set. Against the Brangle, she had a much easier time. She defeated her in straight sets 6-4, 6-1. In that match, she converted 5 of the 6 break points, so she took most of the chances she got. Against Siniakova in the third round, that was a little tougher, and she got bageled in the first set, but she managed to come back and win it 0-6, 7-6, 6-2. In that match, she converted 4 to 4 break points, so pretty impressive because she took 100% of her chances in that match. In that match, she didn't waste any chances. When she got it, she took it. She didn't get many of them. When she got the chances, she took it, and that was what proved decisive in the match. Then against her Romanian opponent, who has had a great year, who won her first title in 13 years in Istanbul, and also reached the final, she managed to beat her in straight sets 7-6, 6-1. In that match, again, clinical on chances, she converted 3 out of 4 break points. Something that we have to know and observe here is that she hasn't really wasted chances. Apart from the Andreescu match, where she converted 7 out of 17 break points, in all her other matches, she's been really good on breakpoint conversion. In the Brangle match, she converted 5 out of 6. Against Siniakova, she converted 4 out of 4. Against Sursti, she converted 3 out of 4. So she's been really great on breakpoints. So especially, and she's taken as many chances as she could. She didn't let chances slip away. So that's going to be a key factor because most times, especially in this tournament, that most times at least people that are facing her, most likely she's going to take as many chances as she gets. She's not going to let them go. If she has them, she's going to take them. Now let's go to her opponents road to the finals. So her opponents, the quarterfinal. So Badoza, to make it to the quarterfinal, she hasn't had it easy either. Her first match was against Davis, the American, and she beat her in relatively routine fashion, 6-2, 7-6. Against Karvanik in the second round, she beat her in straight sets 6-2, 6-0. In that match, she won more than double of her opponent's points, so she won 54 points, her opponent won 22. She also converted 6 out of 7 break points, so in that match as well, clinical on chances. She hit 6 aces, and she also won 88% of first serve points, so pretty impressive for Badoza there. Against Bogdan, that was a really tight match. She had to come back from a set down. She was 2-6 down. Her opponent, I think, was very close to winning the match. I think she was serving for it. I can't remember, but I think she was serving for it. But she managed to come back and win it 2-6, 7-6, 6-4. In that match, she converted 6 out of 22 break points. So she wasn't as good on chances. She didn't take as many chances, but she did at least win the match. Against Vondrousova, who was the defending finalist, she managed to beat her in 3 sets, 6-4, 3-6, 6-2. And now she plays Zidansek, and it's going to be a great encounter because both of these players are really playing well. And both of them have really had great seasons, so it's going to be a great encounter to watch. Now, they've never met, so they have a 0-0 head-to-head record. They've never met on the tour before at all, in any of the tiers. So I think that Badoza, I think that she has a slightly higher ceiling when they're at their best, and I think that Badoza also has really had a really great season. She reached the semifinals in Madrid. In Charleston, she also reached the semis. And she's had some great victories over Barty. She defeated the Benchich as well. She's had really great victories, and I think that she also just has the better game, and she's just a high-ranked player. And I think she's also really taken advantage of her seeding, because she wasn't supposed to be seeded, but she ended up getting seeded 33rd. So I think she's really taken advantage of that, and being in a relatively open section of the draw, she took advantage of that really well. So I think it's going to be 3 sets. Both players are playing really well, but I'm going to pick Badoza to win this in a 3-set match.